Morning, Rod. Got State FCA Director Jason O'Neal with me today, and we're going to have a conversation about what's going on there right after this. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. Jason, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I drafted you. You didn't know you were going to do this.
No, impromptu discussion, but that's great. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we were just going to have coffee, and I'm like, we were having such a good conversation. I was like, people need to hear this. We'll see. So you were the assistant superintendent here at Rogersville until about 2 years ago?
Yes, this summer, July 1, will be 2 years that I retired early from public education. I spent a 25-year career as a teacher, a coach, a school administrator. Of course, my last 7 years was here as assistant superintendent, and then felt a calling to go into full-time ministry with Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah, and I know that wrecked Dr. Randall's plans. He had, you were his heir apparent for his retirement, but I'm sure Dr. Valentine appreciates the opportunity.
Well, Rocky and I are good friends, and I think it's a great hire for the school district, and I think everybody is ending up in the place that we're all supposed to be.
Yeah, God brought us to, right?
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the state, what the needs are, and how we can help, or what's exciting.
Yeah, well, if you're not familiar, most people have heard of FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. If you're not all that familiar with it, we are a parachurch, a non-denominational or interdenominational ministry, biblically based. We're all about spreading the gospel. Our vision is to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through coaches and athletes. And so that's the name of the game for us. It's the gospel, but we do it through athletics, all right? And here in the state of Missouri, we've got 24 staff members. We have 11 geographical areas, and our goal is to have a director and then multiple area reps in all of those areas where we can have boots on the ground, staff members who are pouring into coaches and athletes all over the state. I'd say, the greatest percentage of our ministry occurs inside public school buildings. And so when people say, well, hey, we got to get prayer back in school, we got to get the Bible back in school, and I agree. But also as a public educator, I would say that I don't necessarily want teachers putting their own personal beliefs into the curriculum or into their instruction. Let's do that at home. Let's do that through the church. Let's do that through our relationships, and then have our kids live that out at school. And so, students have a lot of freedom and ability to do that. That's where our FCA huddle comes in. We have a huddle that meets in most schools, meets in the morning. And hey, right here in Rogersville, it's not uncommon for us to have 60, 70, 80 kids show up to an FCA meeting before school in the morning.
Yeah, that's awesome, and the teachers can participate in that.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, so there's an opportunity there as well. Now, you said you've got 11 districts, and you want to have a director in all those districts?
We have 11 areas.
Areas, I'm sorry.
And so there are several school districts. I mean, like some of our areas may have 17, 18 counties. And so you're talking about, 1,000 coaches, 10,000 student athletes sometimes in an area. So yeah, we would like to have a director in each of those 11 areas who is developing a board. So we have a board of volunteers who they help support and guide the ministry in their local area. So we'd like to develop a board, develop a donor base so that we can fund the ministry. We want to have the operations for the ministry covered. And then we'd like to have area reps where those folks are really in the field, boots on the ground, into the schools, going into club sports, meeting with coaches, pouring in discipling coaches, planning student events, doing trainings with student leaders, and providing all the resources. So Bibles, Bible study materials, devotionals. Some people don't know this, but we're actually the second largest distributor of Bibles in the world, behind the Gideons.
Wow.
So FCA,
that's a big deal.
A lot of people have heard of FCA, like I said before, because it's in your community or it's in your school. Again, a lot of people don't realize we're a full-blown global missionary organization. We have over 3,000 staff members in over 100 countries.
That's awesome. And so, but you're looking for more help too.
That's right. Yeah. The name of the game for me as state director is to see the ministry grow. And we know that the best way to do that is through relationships. And so we're always looking to hire staff, in particular, trying to recruit and hire in areas where we have no staff or in areas where we have very few staff. Ministry of presence is important to us. If we have staff with boots on the ground, they can go be present and then develop relationships and then share the gospel, share truth, provide resources. It just doesn't happen unless we have staff members there to do it.
So so some of those are full-time positions?
We're always looking to hire full-time. We want people who are all in. But we do have some part-time positions. We hire a lot of retired coaches who don't really want to work full-time maybe, but they got a strong relationship with the Lord and they want to continue investing in other coaches and athletes. But for the most part, we're looking for full-time people who want to, here's the thing, some sort of background in athletics, but the most important part is a deep, rich relationship with the Lord, and then they feel and sense a calling on their life to serve full-time in ministry.
I sat the bench on the LR baseball team my freshman year. Is that enough?
You got it. Yes, we're not looking for the best athletes to serve in the ministry. We're looking for people who have an interest in athletics, have some background in athletics, just so that they can understand that's our ministry environment. So that's in our name, that's our history, and so we're not an exclusive group. A lot of these huddles that meet in school, there's tons of kids that are not involved in athletics, but that's just where the organization was based from. It started with a coach who wanted to have Bible studies and discipleship with his team. So 60 years ago, that's where it began.
And do you have volunteer opportunities?
Yeah, we do. And that's really an area where we're growing. We've become a lot more intentional in the last couple of years to training volunteers. So we have a vetting process. They've got to agree to our statement of faith and what we say we believe that the Bible is saying about Christianity, about relationship with God, about salvation and things of that nature. So they agree with those standards, and then we have training, and then yes, we deploy them out into our communities to be the hands and feet for the organization, but ultimately for the Lord.
So if somebody's interested in either a staff position or volunteer opportunity, how would they go about getting in touch with the organization or you, or what's that process look like?
Anyone can contact me via cell or email or our website. Our website is www.missourifca.org. That's the full word, Missouri spelled out. But you can call my cell. It seems like everybody has it anyway. It's 417-209-8938.
And I have it. You can
that's
contact me and I'll get you.
That's right. Or my email address is joneal@fca.org.
Okay, great. And then obviously donor-supported organization as well. I know you do the banquets as part of your fundraising process.
Yeah, we have some fundraising events. We try not to go out and nickel and dime the community through fundraising events. They're an important part of the ministry. It helps us tell our story. It helps us highlight ministry testimonies. But we don't want to depend too much on fundraising events for operational expenses, because fundraisers sometimes are volatile. You can have a golf tournament and it rains you out. Well, then, you're sunk. And so we do have fundraising events, but really the meat and potatoes for the funding of our ministry comes through personal support. So just like a missionary who might be going overseas, our staff goes out and puts out the ask. Ask people, would you come on our home team? Would you support us on a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis and be committed to the mission that we're trying to accomplish? And we really want that to be a relationship with donors. It's not just, send your money and we'll get you a newsletter once a year. We really want to have a relationship so that you know the impact that your dollars are having for the kingdom.
So, and exploring that once again, website, they can explore how to be a,
That's right.
a donor.
Yep. You can go to the website. You'll see every staff member in Missouri is listed there, and you can read about the ministry and you can see where to give.
Okay, great, and I'm happy to be one of your supporters.
That's
so,
right.
back on the train.
Will does that, and so many others we greatly appreciate. I'll tell you guys, as I mentioned, I was a 25-year public educator, and this experience for the last 2 years has been so humbling to see people's generosity, getting on board with what we're trying to do to just spread the gospel and advance the kingdom. And it's only, guys, because of what Christ has done for us. Well, for me, I'm not qualified to do this job, but I've received this unexplainable grace and mercy from the Lord, and other people need to know about it.
Yeah, well, it was on a graduation cap I saw, and it's the young Fisher girl, and I can't think of her name right now. Brandon's daughter.
Yeah, Tara.
Tara and Brandon's daughter, and
why am I forgetting now? If you hadn't asked me, I would have known it. She plays volleyball with my daughter.
Her cap said, "Where God guides, God provides," and I thought that's brilliant. And what you just said made me think of that. So, love that. Any parting thoughts for us today?
No, appreciate. Like you said, this was very unplanned, but appreciate the opportunity, and I'm always looking to spread the word about our ministry. So yeah, if you have any questions or you have interest or want to get involved, call that cell phone, email, or get on our website one way or another. We'd love to visit with you.
All right, thanks for coming in. Always let us know how we can help. Thanks for watching today. We'll be back with more shows on Planet 417 and K-ROG. I don't know when, but like and subscribe, and then you'll know when we know. Thanks.